Surprise, surprise. Tonight you'll hear amazing stories from incredible people who really deserve the surprises of their lives. So let's get going, shall we? Now, who here is with a friend today? If you're with a friend, put your hand up if you've come to see the show with a friend. OK, right, I'm going to come and meet a few of you now. Right, let's come up. Oh, here's someone that's close to me. Hello, what's your name?
Jane.
Jane, so you're here with your friend Ali?
Yes.
How did I know that? The penny drops. I tell you what, she might be your friend, but she's also my friend because we've been chatting a lot for the last 3 months and we've been chatting about you. Do you want to know why?
Yes, please.
Come and join us on the sofa. Ali, come and join us too. Ali, Jane, everybody. Ladies, come and take a seat. Welcome, welcome. So, Ali and Jane, tell me, where are you both from?
I live on the Wirral near Liverpool.
OK.
And I'm from Burnley.
Right, and you're very good friends. So how long have you been friends for?
About 5 years now, near enough.
OK, and how did you meet?
My daughter was diagnosed with cocaine syndrome, which is a rare genetic disorder, which effectively meant my daughter was terminally ill. So I contacted Jane because Jane runs the support group for children and families who suffer from cocaine syndrome. And I was in desperate need of advice and how I could look after Inaya, that's my daughter.
What makes her so special?
What she did teach me to do was to get up in the morning and appreciate every second I had with Inaya, rather than get up and think, is my child going to die today? And it takes a special person to do that.
You sound like a remarkable lady.
Thank you.
I think we should find out a little bit more about you. Have a look at this.
Jane has to be one of the most selfless and amazing people I've met. Jane was a mountain of strength when my daughter Inaya passed away. She's my guardian angel, really. For the past 7 years, she's helped and supported so many children with CS and their families.
How are you doing?
Cocaine syndrome, otherwise referred to as CS, is a very rare genetic disorder, mainly characterised by premature ageing.
You have a loss of sight, a loss of hearing. A lot of the children won't be able to talk. The age expectancy is age 12. A lot of children will pass away by the age of 3.
It's the battle with this condition, really, that's been the driving force for Jane for the past 22 years.
They're fantastic.
Our daughter Amy was born in 1991. She was born very prematurely. She was tiny, so there was a lot of anxiety about exactly how that might affect Amy and our future. As Amy started to get older, she could walk, she could talk, but in lots of other ways she was behind the other kids, particularly in terms of her growth. A lot of the specialists would suggest this syndrome or that syndrome, but really they were guessing. It was hard for both of us, but it was particularly hard for Jane. Jane became very frustrated and she would spend hours and hours and hours in the library just trying to find answers herself. She managed to get Amy's story in the local press, and this exposure led to a doctor from the United States contacting us and inviting Jane and Amy out to Boston to meet with them and other families affected by cocaine syndrome.
Seeing these little children who looked exactly like her daughter running around, Jane was just reduced to tears, but they were happy tears. She'd found her answers.
And later, after a lot of tests, it was confirmed as being CS. That diagnosis brings a real internal conflict, really. On one hand, Jane was really excited because she'd finally found the things that were causing Amy problems. But at the same time, you've just found out your child has got a life-limiting illness.
Jane was adamant that no other family should go through the isolation, the suffering that her and her family had gone through.
So in 2007, Jane started Amy and Friends.
Jodie, how are you doing? You all right? Yes.
I have 2 children with cocaine syndrome. I have Ella, who's 7, and I have Chloe, who's just turned a year. It was 2 weeks before Christmas that Ella was diagnosed with CS. and I was pregnant with Chloe at the time, and they offered me the test, which I obviously took, and unfortunately it came back that she has it as well. It was probably the worst moments of my life. I was straight on Google trying to find out what it was. I'd never heard of it before, and Amy and Friends came up. I emailed Jane just saying, help me. I think that's all I said. And she got straight back to me, and we haven't stopped talking ever since. She also, every year for the past 8 years, has put on an annual retreat to get us all together. One big CS family. After those 3 days, you're crying because you don't want to go.
High-fiving.
What Jane does is cocoon people with love, acceptance, affection, which is an amazing feeling.
I'm immensely proud of Jane. She's an incredible woman, and she's done so much for so many people. I'm proud to call her my wife, and I love her very much.
We know our children's lives are going to be short, but they're going to be the best lives because of Jane.
Jane, you really do mean so much to so many people. Watching that, how does it make you feel?
Just seeing the children just makes me filled with love, and the families that I can help, I wouldn't choose to have it any other way.
And it must be the toughest thing for any parent to hear that their child has a life-limiting illness.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine how you begin to cope with something like that.
It wrecks your head. It certainly does. You know, for 15 years, I'd never met anybody that looked like my daughter. I couldn't speak to anyone about it. And so as soon as I found out what it was, I thought, right, if there's anybody else out there, I just want to make sure that they don't feel like I felt for 15 years. Yeah, you know, it truly is isolating.
And that's why that retreat is so important.
Yeah, yeah.
Ali, it must take a lot of fundraising to run those retreats.
Yes, Jane works tirelessly, and she works so hard to get the funding. I mean, some of these retreats can cost up to 50,000.
And this isn't just within the UK. I mean, you help families all over the world.
Yeah, I honestly thought when we'd gone to America, we'd probably find about 7 families, and we help over 1,000 families across the world.
Well, Jane's drive and determination is now helping CS families right across the world. And surprise, surprise, although they can't be here tonight, they wanted to send you a message. So, Jane, this is for you.
Hi, Jane. I just want to tell you the moment that we met, I felt this unbelievable bond. I think you're wonderful in every single way, and I appreciate all of your dedication for all of our Caucasian kids. And I miss you so much. I wish we could see each other every day. I love you.
You've had a huge impact on our lives here in Australia. Just wanted to thank everyone at Amy and Friends for everything you've done. Don't know what I'd do without you. Kayla and I are so excited to meet you later on in the year.
Your unconditional love and support to us was the start of a very dear friendship. I have a great respect for you and what you do, and I was completely honored to set up Amy and Friends here in the Netherlands. You opened up your heart to us, and we love you dearly.
A lot of love for you from all across the world. What's it like seeing those people that you've helped?
It's amazing to see them.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen Val and Jace, gosh, probably for about 7 years, so it's lovely for them to send me a message like that.
Jane, you also give CS families a much-needed break, don't you? You pay for a caravan.
Yeah.
Why is that? What does that do?
We had gone to a caravan and thought, you know, this is on a beautiful flat site. The beach is nearby, the mountains are nearby, and people would be able to get around in their wheelchairs, and they'd all be able to go and do these things together. So we raised the money and we bought a caravan, and the families have been loving going there. They've had a brilliant time.
A much-needed break for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, Jane, surprise, surprise, because the Dream Lodge Group are giving the families of Amy and Friends use of one of their luxury lodges free of charge for 3 weeks each year for the next 3 years.
Wow, thank you.
You are more than welcome. I hope they enjoy it and spend some valuable time together. Really, really important. What will it mean to those families to be able to get away and just spend some time together like that?
Well, it's it's very difficult for them to get time away, really. You know, when you've got a terminally ill child, you can't work. And so mums have to give jobs up if they work before, and dads are backwards and forwards. And so most of our families are on quite a low, limited income. So, A, they'd never be able to get away in the first place anyway, but to be able to go and be in a really lovely environment with a sick child for the whole family is amazing.
And everybody needs a holiday.
They do.
And we think you need a holiday. We really do. You do so much for other people. It's about time that somebody did something for you. Jane, this is for you.
Jane, thanks to icelolly.com, you and your family are heading to Orlando, where you can relax and have the opportunity to see everything Florida has to offer.
Getting the entire family to Florida has been a bit of a dream for you, hasn't it?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh, gosh, you absolutely deserve it. Thank you so much. It's been absolutely wonderful to meet you. We wish you the best of luck with Amy and Friends, and do send our love to everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ali and for Jane. Right, someone in our studio audience will be up for a surprise soon. Find out who in just a moment.